Welcome to Subramani. One more feature of the personal finance media, or I would say mafia, is asking you to rebalance your portfolio. Is rebalancing a good idea? I do think rebalancing is a good idea to reduce portfolio volatility, but it matters at certain stage and it does not matter at certain stage. So and I'm also not convinced that you should rebalance your portfolio every 6 months or every 1 year and go to a 60-40 equity and kind of portfolio. If you start with an asset allocation which was 60% in equity and 40% in debt and don't rebalance at all, at some stage you will reach 70-30, 80-20, maybe even 90-10, because you did not rebalance, because logically the equity assets which are the fastest growing have grown faster than debt. Suppose the equity has given you 18% return and debt has given you 11% return, good chance that slowly equity will start dominating your portfolio. I am not too much of a fan of rebalancing or removing from your fastest growing asset to putting it into a asset which is not growing so well. So I prefer doing something like this. I invest in multi-asset funds. Because if I were to do the rebalancing myself, if I were to sell equity and buy debt, and at some stage when there is a big market crash, say March 20, sell my debt instruments and buy equity, it becomes very inefficient from a tax point of view, because if you rebalance every 6 months, you can be sure that there will be short-term capital gain. And definitely in debt there will be short-term capital gain. And debt today, debt instrument today is being taxed as current income, not as capital gain. It will be capital gain, but it will be added to your current income. So there is no concessional 10% or 15% kind of taxation. There is no indexation also available in case of equity. So I think it is very, very tax inefficient. What instead I like is putting your money in multi-asset funds. Some multi-asset funds are treated as equity and you will be taxed like equity. Some are treated as debt and you will be taxed at debt rates, which means your 20% tax including indexation. So 20% with indexation or 10% without indexation is your call. No point in investing in assets which is going to give you current income, because if the current income could just get added. Of course, if you are a retired person, the third option is also good, but if you are a person who is working or somebody who has got a lot of passive income like dividends or rent, etc., then it makes no sense to create more current income. It makes more sense to create capital gains, right? So rebalancing, which used to be a very big word at the beginning of my career, and I thought it should be done. I don't agree that it should be done. Also, beyond a particular stage, suppose I decide that I can live off my equity, but then I need some debt for stabilizing my portfolio. Maybe I have 2 crores in debt instruments, whatever the debt instruments, be gilt fund to liquid fund, etc. And after that I decide I don't need any more money in debt, then which means after that, if my portfolio, suppose my portfolio was 5.5 crores, out of which 2 crores was debt. After that 5.5 crores, let us say it becomes 10 crores, I may not have to rebalance at all, because this 2 crores will be more than sufficient for my retirement in case of a fall in equity and I can't touch equity for maybe 2 years. This 2 crores may be sufficient. So after that stage, again rebalancing becomes an unnecessary thing, but you can be very scientific and say no, this is how you talk in a bull market. In a bear market you could be very different. That's a good call that you have to take. But I still prefer for myself to put money in a multi-asset fund, which has got some gold, which has got debt, which has got Indian equity, maybe it has foreign equity, or it has got mid caps and small caps, whatever. I prefer that, and I prefer that whenever I want to remove money from equity because the market is booming, I don't mind paying the tax and putting it into the similar multi-asset fund, which could may have invested abroad, or it may have invested more in debt or whatever, so as to reduce the risk of being excessively in equity, which you can blame me. I mean, even my daughter, my mother, all of us are excessively in equity, and I don't have any great regrets. But that is also possible that I am talking to you at the peak of a bull market, and if the market remains stagnant or goes down for the next 2-3 years, I may look very bad, and it will look like, oh my god, I could have easily rebalanced. So without the benefit of hindsight, when you rebalance or try to rebalance, chances are you're doing it just as per a book, and there is no great benefits doing it. At least personally, that has been my experience. Thank you.